Hey, welcome back to Crosstalk Podcast. I'm Tomoya.
Hi, I'm Andrea.
Did you hear about the international news that went viral because of a translation mistake?
I did hear about the news, but I didn't know it was from a translation mistake. I just thought it was a misunderstanding.
Yes.
So what's going on with this?
Okay, let me explain about this news.
Okay.
Japan recently launched a project pairing 4 Japanese cities with 4 African countries.
Ah, yes.
You know, maybe you guys have heard sister cities.
Yeah.
This probably must be it.
Yeah, like a sister city. They're trying to make sister cities or sister countries, I guess.
Sister country.
Maybe.
Okay. But there is a mistranslation of the phrase dedicate a city, caused people to think it means to give away a city or accept immigrants, which led to a huge backlash on social media.
Wow, that is a problem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the project was only about cultural exchange, but the misunderstanding spread like a wildfire.
Ah, okay. That's a problem.
Yes. So we are talking about this, cultural misunderstanding and mistranslation, but we're not going to talk about, politics or,
Right.
related things.
Right. Yeah. There's probably a lot of politics involved that we're not aware of. Yeah. Okay. So do you know which Japanese cities were involved in this project?
I'll explain it. The project paired 4 Japanese cities, as I explained, with 4 African countries, which were Imabari with Mozambique, Kisarazu with Nigeria, Sanjo with Ghana, and Nagai, where's Nagai?
I was going to ask you, where's Nagai? I don't know where Sanjo and Kisadazu are also.
You don't know it?
I know Imabari only.
Oh, okay.
I only know Imabari.
Anyway, Nagai with Tanzania.
Okay. I know the African countries. I know Mozambique and Tanzania and Nigeria and Ghana, but I don't know where Nagai and Kisadazu are.
Kisarazu is... Let me find... Where's Kisarazu? It's Kanto.
Okay. I've never even heard of this city.
Really?
Yeah. Is it a big city?
It's pretty famous city. Chiba Prefecture, Kisarazu.
Chiba. Okay. In Chiba. Okay. Kisarazu. It's hard to say too. Okay. Where is Sanjo?
Niigata.
Okay. And then Imabari we know is in Ehime because that's kind of near us. Down here in West Japan. Where is Nagai?
Probably Yamagata Prefecture or Kanagawa. As I explained earlier, we are not an expert on this news.
No.
Again, we are talking about, this cultural misunderstanding and mistranslation. Also, maybe we're going to touch fake news as well.
Okay. Yeah. I'm familiar with the African countries, but like my Japanese geography isn't very good if it's not West Japan. I'm really only familiar with like West Japan. Sorry.
Me too. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who live in Kanto region.
Yeah, there's probably most people are not familiar with West Japan, familiar with Kanto or East or, North Japan.
So again, sorry if we are misunderstanding this geography.
That's right.
Yeah, location-wise. But anyway, these countries and city are paired for a cultural exchange.
That's right. Okay.
For example, Kisarazu invites a baseball team from Nigeria.
Okay.
For example.
Okay.
Somehow something was tangled up.
Yeah. So what I read in the news was JICA was kind of the organizing group that was going between. They were kind of acting as a go-between between the Japanese government and then these countries in Africa. And so it's not JICA's fault, but JICA was acting as the go-between, and so JICA is the one who had to kind of clean up the mess. But the government was using the phrase to dedicate a city. as a hometown partner. But what do you know what the Japanese was to dedicate? Because I feel like the issue is probably a mistranslation of this word, dedicate.
I'm using ChatGPT, and sorry if this was wrong, but Japanese cities said, この都市を何々国の何々の国のホームタウンに指定する。
Oh, that's ambiguous.
Yeah, and this project name is also problematic, I think. This project is actually called Hometown Project.
Yeah, see, okay, so I was assuming the mistranslation came from the word dedicate, 指定する. But actually, that's a really good point. It's probably not 指定する or dedicate. The problem is with that, furusato, hometown. I just think like furusato, for Japanese people, it means hometown, but I don't think that's what the government meant. I think they meant like koryuba or something.
Koryuba, yes.
Like sister city.
Sister city.
Sister city doesn't have the same nuances of furusato, hometown. It's like, oh, okay, a koryu suru machi, but not a place where you're going to live.
Right.
But to be fair, I don't think it's the translator's fault, whoever translated that, because the word furusato is often translated. It's almost always translated as hometown, because that's what Japanese people mean it to be. But in this case, for this project, it's not a hometown. It's like you said, a sister city. Like a koryu suru machi.
Yes.
Not somewhere where you're coming to live. So I think it's not the translator's fault. It's just a common misunderstanding with this word furusato.
Furusato,
That's my opinion, though.
Okay, so I think the project name is actually bad because, African people thinks hometown. Yes, our hometown in Japan, right?
Right, exactly.
That's not realistic for us.
Right.
But, perhaps a different country people think different way.
I don't know where the idea came from, but apparently the media, the mass media in Nigeria, somehow assumed or somehow got the impression that the Japanese government was going to make a special class of visa for people from these 4 African countries to come and live in Japan.
Yeah. So rumors get exaggerated.
Yes.
I checked some small medias from Nigeria, and then the headline was kind of shocking. They said, Japan made a special visa for us, something like that.
I saw on Japanese news TV that the media was saying that Japan is going to give us this whole town. They're going to take the whole city and give it to us. So there was a huge misunderstanding on the African media's side, I think.
Yes. And also I checked the BBC website. There's nothing about immigration or residency. It's just simply, they said a cultural event project.
Right.
It's kind of fake news for people in Nigeria or in rest of the 3 countries.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right?
That would be kind of fake news. I don't know if it was on purpose or an accident, though. If it's an accident, it can't be helped. But if it's on purpose, then it would be fake news.
Yes. We have this wording, 言葉の上げ足取り. In English, nitpicking words.
Oh, okay. Nitpicking. Yeah, nitpicking or like kind of changing the meaning of words on purpose, like playing around with the meanings. Yeah.
So probably this happened.
Probably.
In these countries, I guess.
Yeah, nitpicking or an honest misunderstanding. Who knows? Who knows?
We don't know.
Yeah.
We're just guessing.
Yeah, we're just guessing.
Okay, I understand. I want to ask you some questions related to this news.
Okay.
Have you ever had a trouble because of a mistranslation or misunderstanding of words?
Yeah, I'm sure, like often, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Often, I'm sure, but nothing on this, like nothing on an international level. It's more like my misunderstanding because I didn't know how a certain word is translated. Yeah. Often it happens to me. Yeah, like now that I'm better at Japanese, I'm okay. But I think when I was younger and I wasn't very good at Japanese, yes, I had a lot of misunderstandings. It's not uncommon with foreign people. It's very common because Japanese is quite different and difficult for us. So yes, it happened.
Personally, I never had a trouble with a mistranslation
Okay.
but maybe I'm just forgot about it.
Yeah, but I mean, probably small things. Like when you lived abroad, there were probably small things, but nothing that's like, international news level or nothing that affects your lifestyle really negatively. Yeah.
It just came up my mind right now, but there was miscommunication when I was working in Australia.
Oh, okay.
So my boss asked me, do we have more stock of this meat? And I answered, there's none here.
There's none here. Okay. That sounds okay.
There's nothing here.
Right.
But there's actually some more stocks in the basement.
Oh, did you know that?
I did know that.
You did know that. Oh, okay.
But I didn't say that. I didn't add on that.
That's you.
That's my fault.
That's you being bad.
I should have explained about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a mistranslation. That's just not giving the full amount of information.
Right.
That's like you gave part of the information, but not the rest of it.
Right.
That's not a mistranslation, though.
Yeah.
And did she ask you, do we have any stock here?
Of course, I don't remember.
And then yeah, if she did, she said, do we have any stock here? And you said, no, we don't have any stock here. That's a direct answer to a direct question,
right.
but there's more information following that you should have given, but you didn't. So yeah, but yeah, that's another like
communication,
dicey
right?
situation. Yeah, it's a questionable, iffy situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what if my boss asked me, do we have more stocks in the basement? I would say, yes, we do.
Okay. So her question was bad, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying that, but there's people acting like me. You know?
Okay. You guys just have to like answer properly with the full information. Yeah.
Okay. So one more question. Do we really need international exchange? What do you think, Andrea-san?
I think yes.
How come?
Because I see like young Japanese students, junior high school, university students going abroad to do homestay and sister city exchange programs. And it's really good for them. And vice versa. Like these young people come to Japan from, England or Canada or Australia, wherever, Africa in this case. And it teaches them about Japan in a real way, or, the Japanese people going abroad. It teaches them about foreign culture in a very real way that you cannot get from reading in a book or from watching a movie. And it really helps connect people on a very like basic human level, like people to people communicating and living together and exchanging their culture, their lifestyle, their words, their food. Like it's really, really nice.
Yeah, totally right.
What do you think? Do you think we really need international exchange?
Oh, yes. I think it's very important, especially for younger people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't enter this international exchange program, but yes.
Well, you did working holiday.
But that was, when I was adult. And,
yeah, but that's still kind of that's kind of a cultural exchange program.
Oh, yeah, true.
I think that counts.
Okay.
Yeah. In my case, I did study abroad in Japan. And so we were not doing homestay. We didn't connect with any families. We only really knew our small group of teachers and then the friends that we made. So that was like very different situation than like a sister city program or a homestay program. But it was still really nice and still very valuable.
I think America is not open.
For working holiday? No.
Right?
No, we don't have any working holiday at all.
Very strict country, isn't it?
Yes, but we do a lot of homestay and like school to school or city to city, like sister city. We have a lot of that.
Okay.
Like my hometown, we have a sister city with a relationship with Kurashiki City, which is here in Okayama. And I did not participate, but I know every 2 years, people from like young students from Japan go to my hometown and stay in the summer for a few weeks. And then people from my hometown come to Japan, maybe. And then I think Kurashiki City also has a sister city with Christchurch, New Zealand. So every other year they do Kansas City, and then the next year they'll do Christchurch. So they alternate between the two cities, taking students abroad. So it's really nice. It's good for the students. Not only are they getting language practice, but they're just getting to see a glimpse of a different country, a different world. It kind of opens their mindset up.
Yeah, I wish I could take part in such a program.
You probably could, actually.
How? Too late though. I'm too old now.
Maybe not. There are ways. I'll tell you later.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we covered this hot topic, hometown project.
Yeah.
And we want to hear about your thoughts on this episode.
Right. What do you think about the name? What do you think about the project in general? Is it a good idea or do you not think so?
And have you ever recently came across fake news? Did you almost believe it?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I hope no one was tricked by fake news, but it's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and we are always looking for new episode ideas. What would you like to hear us talk about next?
Okay, one more announcement before we go. For the month of September at least, maybe longer, we're going to start live streaming every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Japan time. You can join us on the live stream on YouTube or Instagram. Just search for Crosstalk Eikaiwa, right?
Yes.
And we would love to interact with you there. So this is a live stream, 6 p.m. Japan time, every Thursday evening.
That's all for this episode, but don't forget to catch our next one.
Okay, this is Crosstalk signing off, bringing you English your way every week.
Keep listening and keep shining.
Bye.